Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talk Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. Welcome to the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks. And you see the tuber screen, I'd like to get ready to give my unique perspective. Because after 46 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a new perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks. I'd like to get ready to tell you about it. Because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Finland. Got some plays over in Finland this past week. Gracias, gratitude in Finland. I heard your prime minister is only 36 years old. I think your prime minister is probably the youngest leader of a country on planet Earth. If she's not, she's one of them. Because there's not a lot of people running countries that young. I'll be honest, I wouldn't think at 46 I can run a country. I don't think I have enough years on planet Earth. But I don't know. She's doing it. She's 36. She seems to be running the country. So I don't know how you feel about her. I don't know. I don't live over there. So maybe you like her, maybe you don't. I don't know. But she is young. That's true. So good for her. So thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Gracias. Gratitude. And just FYI, back day was school to be a radio DJ. But I never got a job. I think I never got a job. I just didn't have enough ambition. You know, we got people out here that are 36 running countries. You know, all I want to do is become a radio DJ. And I just didn't have the ambition. Because you just need ambition to become a radio DJ. And I feel I didn't have it. Because if I would have had it, I probably would have became a radio DJ. But I didn't. And it allowed me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Something to debate. Might be true, might not be true. But I said it on the internet. So it's got to be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix, streets, doors, sky, grass, trees, dirt, earth, diamonds, gems. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just be aware, just watch out. Anyways, I can ramble you all day, but it won't. Let's get right to the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I like to dance. I'll be in the living room, got a little incense burning, some music playing, and I just dance. And while I'm dancing, I like to wear a bandana. I know it's weird. I'll tie the bandana on my head, and I just like dance with incense burning. It's very strange. He's like, Captain, you're strange. Yeah, well, I am kind of strange. So I like using a bandana for that. But a bandana has many other purposes. That's just what I use it for. So maybe you can think of some other uses of a bandana. Well, if you need a bandana, want a different bandana with a different pattern on it, we have a bandana available over at the Excessive Fictions Dazzle store. So yeah, we got a bandana over there. It's got a unique picture on it. Check it out. It's pretty dope. So if you want a new bandana so you can dance like the Captain or do whatever you do with your bandana, check out the bandana. I'll put a link to the Excessive Fictions Dazzle store. Check it out. And now, let's get on with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. And that's like the millionth time I said that. But it's true. I am back. Once again, I felt like I just said this yesterday. And it might have been yesterday, maybe it was the day before. I do these things all the time. It's starting to become like Groundhog's Day. I feel like I'm Bill Murray sometimes. Just doing this over and over again. But this is not a complaint. It's just stating a matter of fact. I enjoy it. I love it. Even though I do it over and over again. It is fun just to sit in front of a microphone and say words. Say palavras for my Portuguese friends. Yeah, palavras. I like saying that. Palavras. That's words in Portuguese. It's a beautiful word. But that's what I do. I get in here and I say palavras. Words. That's what I do. It is fun. I enjoy it. You probably like saying words too, I'm assuming. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Words are fun, right? It's how we talk, it's how we communicate. So here I am, and I'm saying palabras, many palabras about movies, TV, sports, and flicks. So I'm doing. So yeah, here I am. Let's get right into it. So this week, what I want to talk about is that, I say, pay attention and be mindful of what you watch on the tube, because it can influence our thoughts, our ideas, our beliefs. I kind of think this. Now, this past week, or maybe the last couple of weeks, I heard a podcast or I saw a video. I consume so much stuff, it's hard to keep up where I hear these things. Might have been a magazine. I'm just intaking so much information. But one thing is for sure. Someplace, somewhere, I saw some expert, I believe they might have been a neurologist or a psychologist or some kind of ologist, a person with a degree who has knowledge, so someone that is definitely smarter than I am. But they were saying that when you see something or watch something, some part of your brain lights up or there's some activity in the brain. And when you watch something and see something, that activity in the brain is the same as someone that actually does the activity. So let me just explain a little bit. According to this expert, the activity in your brain, when you see something being done, is the same activity as if you actually did it. That's what they were saying. So like the parts of your brain that light up or do whatever, activate the exact same way if you actually did it, right? Just by watching the activity. Is what this expert said. Now, I'm sure there's other experts that probably would disagree with that. But this particular expert said that's what happens, right? They said that. That's what they said. So if your brain lights up the same way just by watching something as by doing it, that made me think like, bro, all this talk I've been saying about make sure you monitor and pay attention to what you intake and what you give your attention to, what you look at, it's very important. And now hearing this expert say that, I'm like, yeah, it's even more important. So it's very important that we really pay close attention to what we watch, what we look at, what we give our attention. Because if that is true, if your brain lights up and is active the same way as actually doing it, this is kind of important. So make sure that you are watching and looking at things that are going to level you up. You know what I mean? And I wonder if you see someone laying on the couch just eating a bunch of food and you watch that, like, is your brain doing the same thing as that person? Is it somehow programmed in some way? I don't know enough about it, but that's what this expert said. But just hearing that just makes me think we should just make sure we're very particular about what we intake. That's been a running theme on these podcasts for a long time. The running theme and all these different podcasts, the whole 400 has been, we're watching screens. All types of screens, cell phones, tablets, computers, TVs, right? Whatever, just tons of screens, tons of information. Comment at us, listen to podcasts, read books. I'll put that in there as well. They're not screens necessarily, but we're still doing that. All this information, all this is coming into us, into our eyes, into our ears. I say it all the time. I keep repeating it over and over again, right? This stuff is kind of programming us. I'm just saying. It's not meant as a negative. It's just saying it kind of is. It's part of being part of society. Part of being society is we watch things, we listen to things, we learn things from watching, listening to things. Everybody does it. I don't care who it is. They all do it. They all read stuff, watch stuff, hear stuff from a person, from a video, from a book, from a podcast, from something. Information is coming. You know what I'm saying? It's all coming. It's all teaching. We're all learning programming, right? And so since we know this is happening. It's happening no matter you like it or not. We went to schools, colleges, friends, co-workers, videos, YouTube, whatever. It's just teaching us, showing us. And since we are aware of this, let's make sure we tweak the feeds, tweak information, adjust them accordingly to level us up and make us become a better human being. And that's kind of my theory. It's kind of my thing. Why intake stuff that's going to make us worse than we are when we can intake stuff that's going to make us better? That is the mentality. That is the mindset. And if our brain, by looking at something, is activated the same way if you're actually doing it, then it probably is even more important to make sure we're focused on things that are going to level us up. Now, I watch tons of MMA fights. I watch MMA fights for years, right? And I practice bag work. And I noticed over the years, my bag work has got significantly better, right? It's way, I videotape myself doing bag work so I can study it. And my bag work sessions are significantly better all the time than they've ever been. And I was wondering, like, how much of that is for me just sitting around watching MMA? I watch people do MMA all the time. I get to see the movements and all that. And if what this scientist is saying, this neurologist is saying is true, is that by me watching it, my brain's lighting up the same way as I actually did it, maybe that is improving my bag work. Because I tell you what, my bag works way better than it was. Got crisp punches now, baby. But I don't know, there might be some truth to it. So like just by watching can improve our skills. I was talking to someone this week and they were talking about visualization. I've heard about that. You just sit back and visualize what you're doing. Make your brain go through the activity without actually doing it. There's a lot of science, a lot of data, a lot of experts say that actually works. Like you could sit in meditation and you could visualize what you're trying to think about. Like your mind run through it. You kind of see it almost like a movie playing in your brain of the activity. And supposedly, whatever that may be, it will improve, enhance when you actually do it. There is some data behind it that says that's true. I can't cite it right now, but I've heard that. I've read that somewhere. So maybe there's some truth to that. So I'm just saying, bro. If you saw it, you did it. So maybe we should definitely pay close attention. Because, don't you want to be a better version of yourself? Maybe you don't. But it seemed like you would be, right? Improvements. If you improve yourself, your life will improve, right? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. So anyways, if you learned anything from this podcast, just, feed your brain good stuff. You're watching the tube. Be mindful. Pay attention. Is this good for me? Is it not? And one last thing before I sign off. I noticed within the last couple months, maybe in 3-4 months, I was consuming stuff that I probably shouldn't have been. On this journey of watching the tube, I watch many different opinions, many different perspectives, many different things to get a better, clearer picture of the entire globe. I watch a lot of different people talk about a lot of different stuff. And when I do that, try to be objective. But every now and then in this journey of watching screens, sometimes it kind of sucks me in a little bit. And I start drinking the Kool-Aid. It happens sometimes. Sometimes on the road to just trying to study these things and look and listen to the different viewpoints, sometimes you start drinking the Kool-Aid. And sometimes you're drinking Kool-Aid you shouldn't be drinking. And I noticed within the last few months, I kind of was drinking Kool-Aid I shouldn't be drinking. And I became aware of this in the last couple weeks. I'm like, bro, okay, over the brakes, slow down, adjust your feed. So I was aware of this. Awareness is important. Awareness is very important. We have to be able to monitor and watch these things and know when we should throttle back, know when should we lean into it, know when hey, enough is enough, know when to move over this way, when to move over this way, know when to stop, know when to go, know when to flow, when to know, all that. Got to be aware of this. And having awareness will help you with that. And I noticed I was aware of it. It took me a minute, but I became aware. Like, nah, gotta slow this up. Like I say all the time, it's very important what we watch on the tube screens, because it is basically programming our brain. So if you're gonna program your brain, you might as well program it in an awesome, cool way. It's gonna level you up. And if it's not leveling you up, get rid of it. So anyways, that's it. I appreciate you listening. Gracias, gratitude. And until next time, we'll see. To be idle is a short road to death, and to be diligent is a way of life. Foolish people are idle, wise people are diligent. Buddha. Until next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.